Today, we're very excited to announce Encore for TypeScript. For the past few years, Encore has helped Go developers build scalable cloud backends and event-driven applications with a simple and integrated workflow. Now, we're bringing that same simple development experience to TypeScript. Encore for TypeScript combines a fully featured open source developer experience with extensive cloud DevOps automation, enabling you to quickly ship production-ready backends straight to your own cloud on AWS and GCP. Over the next few minutes, we'll show you how Encore for TypeScript enables end-to-end type safety for distributed systems, provides outstanding performance and observability powered by a new Rust-based runtime, and finally enables complete cloud DevOps automation. Let's jump in.
Encore for TypeScript is designed around a new Declarative Backend SDK, which makes it really simple to create backend services and APIs, and even use cloud infrastructure resources like databases and pubsub. Here's Hello World in Encore for TypeScript. We define our request and response data types, and then use Encore's API function to register an API endpoint, passing in our handler function. All you need to do is Encore run, and your backend is up and running. Encore uses static code analysis to parse and analyze the TypeScript types you define. This powers Encore's built-in local development dashboard, which provides an API explorer for making API calls, automatic API documentation, and much more. Normally with TypeScript, the type information is lost at runtime, but Encore is different. Encore uses the API schemas to automatically validate incoming requests, guaranteeing complete type safety even at runtime. So no more confusing exceptions because a required field is missing. Encore's Backend SDK also provides a declarative way to define cloud infrastructure resources like SQL Databases, pubsub topics and subscriptions, secrets, and much more. Here's an application for tracking to-do items that uses a SQL database to store them. Setting up a database is just 3 lines of code. Encore takes care of the rest. This means with Encore, you don't need to mess around with database passwords or Docker Compose manifests. Let's turn this into an event-driven application. We start by adding a pubsub topic and publish a message every time a to-do item is created. Like with databases, we can just define the topic directly in our application. Encore takes care of setting it all up. Now let's add another backend service that subscribes to the topic and posts a message to Discord. Encore runs, spins up the services and all the infrastructure you have defined. See how simple that is? That's the power of Encore.
To make this possible, we've created a high-performance distributed systems runtime written in Rust. The Rust runtime powers all Encore functionality, from handling incoming requests and making API calls, to querying databases and using pubsub. It even handles all application observability, like distributed tracing, structured logging, and metrics. Here's how it works. First, Node.js starts up and initializes the Encore Rust runtime, which begins accepting incoming requests, parsing and validating them against the API schema. Next, the Encore runtime passes the request to your application code and waits for a response before sending it back over the wire. And when your application uses infrastructure resources, like querying databases or publishing pubsub messages, it hands that over to the Rust runtime for faster execution. This means that the Node.js event loop, which is single-threaded, can focus on executing your business logic. Everything else happens in Encore's multi-threaded Rust runtime. This leads to a massive performance increase over standard Node, increasing throughput by 7x and reducing response latency by up to 85%. And what's really cool is Encore has 0 NPM dependencies, which improves security and speeds up builds and application startup times. And unlike tools like Bun and Dino, it's 100% compatible with the Node.js ecosystem. And of course, everything we've looked at is open source. Now, let's take a look at Encore's cloud DevOps automation. Using the cloud can be tough, especially for startups, for two main reasons. It requires a lot of specific expertise just to set things up. And even if you have the experience, it still takes way too much time away from product development. That's why we created Encore's cloud platform. And if you're a startup dealing with cloud complexity, it might be for you. It fully automates DevOps activities like provisioning and configuring cloud infrastructure, as well as CI and CD. You can even choose how to run your application, for instance using serverless or Kubernetes or something else. This lets you use the full capabilities of AWS or GCP without the distractions. So how does it work? Well, like we saw earlier, when you use Encore's Backend SDK, Encore is able to parse and understand your application's architecture and infrastructure requirements. Behind the scenes, this takes the form of a graph. Encore's cloud platform uses this graph to understand what infrastructure to provision and how it should be configured. It also helps you deal with security by automatically implementing best practices. So with Encore, you never need to worry about whether your database is publicly accessible or if you have backups enabled. It can even orchestrate least privileged security, ensuring your services only have access to the resources they need. Finally, keeping things secure won't get in the way of getting it done. That's the power of Encore. If you want to try it out, install Encore and check out the example apps. It's free and open source. And if you have any questions, join our developer community on Discord.